All right, if anybody sees this, give it a like, thumbs up, share it out, just seeing what's going on. I may just start talking even if no nobody come in here, because I got things on my mind, y'all. But I'll give it a few minutes. I'm over here on the iPad looking. So, let's see what we got. Give it a few minutes. And while I'm doing that, let's make sure this is down. Okay, the volume's down there. You know, I think it gave it a weird picture for the thumbnail. We might have to change the thumbnail. I don't like the thumbnail. We'll change it later. Who else is coming in? Let's see who else is in. Hey, Sean, what's up, baby? Welcome to the channel. Have you been on the channel before? Let me know if you've been on the channel. Can you hear me all right? Oh, we got people up. What's folks doing up tonight? Because it's like 10 here in Arizona, so I know it's later where most of y'all is at. Who's all in? I've seen like 3 people. We still waiting to see if we get any people in because I just did this and I didn't schedule it. So I'm trying to see if you see me looking to the side, it's because I can read the chat on here. So, because this thing don't keep the chat up. How you doing, Shine? Let me know how you doing. We're going to talk about the UFO Commission, depending on who we got on here. I'm going to talk about it anyway. And what's the other one? The new Monkey Pox. That's the new one, too. I want to talk about that a little bit as well. Trying to see if anybody... Where you at in the country, Shine? If you're still in here. Says we got a couple people on. I know one of those should be me on this tablet. We had a third person. Okay, you always watch. What part of the country you in? Oh, you Cali? Okay. Okay. It's getting hot, but we gonna talk. We're gonna talk. We're gonna talk. Are you a driver? Because I know I still have drivers follow me. Or you just follow the channel in general. And y'all, whoever comes in, I'll be talking about some issues that I'm seeing. The monkey pox and the I got text messages about the monkey pox today. Although they've been talking about the monkey pox a while back. I don't think people really knew, and I'm not finding it surprising that it has bled over here to the U.S. Not in the hour that we're in. So not shocking. And then I don't know. Some people don't watch the news. I do watch the news. Being older, I watch it. Grumpy used to say, I'd laugh. He said his dad told him always watch the news because if they ever came on and say "Run, Ninja, run," you you knew to run. Oh, that brother right there. But his dad did have some wisdom. He said if you say "Run, Ninja, run," you need to run. So he said you aware of what's going. Basically, what he's saying is you aware of what's going on so you can take your own steps. That's what he was saying. All right, so I'm gonna go on and talk about. We'll give it a minute or more. See if anybody else. Ain't nobody probably knows many people up, but if you guys see this, like, share it out, thumbs up. Might not be a lot on, and if people come in, they come in. I did this late, not planned. I was gonna do it earlier today, but I went and got some pho this morning for breakfast, and then I did some little grocery shopping, and I came out here and was working in the back on the garden stuff, and one of my tomato plants, she looking really sad. I might have either overwatered her. I thought she was underwatered, and then I don't think I buried her deep enough. And then I got somebody eating my lettuces that are coming up. I do have a lizard out there. At least I done seen one, which means it's probably more than one. We have lizards here in Arizona, so I ain't sure if he's eating it. Him and his little crew. So we're gonna have to work on that. And then I got that what's they call it? Dog vomit, and it's actually a mold. It's not supposed to hurt anything, and I guess it feeds on some sort of debris. Usually, I think some of my research was bark, and I do use a mulch, normally a wood-based mulch, but I also have been using a Oh, what's the mulch I'm using right now? A cocoa core mulch. But if it gets too wet or moist, it apparently will create this dog vomit fungus. And I think because I've already had it in the garden, probably insects are landing because it's showing up in plants that aren't even near where the original was, which was on the other side near the wall. And I have nothing growing on that side. So I think probably flies have landed in that mold or fungus, whatever it is. It just went somewhere else. That's what mold does. Anyway, we'll deal with it. It's not supposed to hurt the plant, so it's just going to be what it's going to be. I'm just going to have to work with it in the garden out there because that was just part of what's going on out in that garden. Okay, Prime, okay. Prime, good. Are you driving now or no? You might not be driving now. Yeah, I used to want to go to Prime bad. I did. I don't want to drive a truck no more. I don't want to drive. I'm good. I don't want nothing to really do with trucking industry. Zero. I'd have to be desperate for a job to go back into a trucking industry. And that's sad, but it's very indicative of the treatment of drivers and the money and a whole bunch of other reasons why trucking bites later on and people just get burnt out. Like, game over. This player is getting off the stage. This player and slave is going to go ahead and lead a plantation. Y'all can have it. All right, so I want to get into it. So, watching the news recently, and y'all know I'm going to come from some Christian perspectives on it. It just is what it is. It's who I am. Watching the news lately, was it earlier last week? Our government, no, I just talked about this in the Christian video, but it's just beyond scope to me. There's signs of the times of things going on. Has created a commission to investigate UFOs. Okay? So I am 53, about to be 54. Yeah, that's right. And as a kid, growing up, everybody in America, we Roswell and Area 57, and we got movies about it, and we all kind of was like, this is just folklore and something fun, and, they might be doing top secret stuff, experimentation. But it was always presented as false, as kind of like folklore and hoax. And then you had the kooky people who really believed in it, right? Well, federal government, national news, NBC Nightly News, shows them in a committee for Congress to investigate UFOs. Wow. What I was concerned with is how much money y'all tying up into this. And not saying it does or doesn't exist. I believe on Christian level there's other reasons for it. But I'm thinking things cannot get any more weird because this is not something our government ever even admitted existed. Now we have footage that they're showing the public of dots on a screen moving around, and I don't know, true, false, whatever. And it's erratic, and it's doing this, and it's doing that, and this guy, one of the pilots on a commercial flight, filmed this with his cell phone. And then there's others that are going to be coming out, even from the military, who, now we're not condemning them for stating that they saw something unusual or so forth and so on. And we have other footage that we're investigating of this X, Y, and Z. It's from a Christian perspective, it's awesome what's happening. Because everything that's taking place, even the weirdness of it, is to set a stage for the things to come, for coming events. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to get back to that in a minute. Now, we have a world right now, especially here in the U.S., where folks want to act like the pandemic is done. And the president has basically said, y'all just going to have to live with it. we don't have a solution. Best you can do is go get the shots and preferably survive from it. If you get it, hopefully the shot will help you survive it. Live with it. So, everything's flipping. What's RN? Everything's flipping RN. What's RN mean? Explain to me what RN means. Explain to me what RN means. But yeah, a lot of what's going on now is we got people just, oh, everything flipping right now. Shine, and I don't know what your spiritual walk is, but I have to come from my Christian belief and my ministerial background. The stage is being set. The stage is this stage, and I just got through doing I did a Christian video earlier today for my Christian group, a private video about this exact thing, and on to our private group, to our Facebook group, our private Facebook group, just talking about this exact thing. Because you now have to be a little careful what you say, because if it's public, they can ban you now. Because if you're not saying what they want you to say, then they'll ban you. But, and if they ban this, I don't really care, because it'll get out to who it needs to get to, and then get shut down. It shuts down. There needs to be an excuse for what the biggest coming event on this planet is going to happen. Now, I could be wrong. I don't know if this is going to happen a year, 6 months, 10 years down the road. But by now making something that was questionable as fictional, as hoax, as not real, real. By now saying, oh, we got unidentified flying objects, which then leads you to think that there's other intelligent life beyond planet Earth. Or they may try to make it military base from another country, which then puts us into war. There'll be a lot of different reasons for it, okay? But the ultimate thing I believe it will be used for is to justify, and I'm a believer in the rapture, when I believe that mankind is going to see a disappearance based on rapture belief, that the church is gone. And they got to justify, well, where did all the hell these people go? So then you can say, oh, well, we had these unidentified flying objects that we were investigating. So there's some other intelligent life, and that's probably what took them people. Because we can never admit that there's a biblical God that told us he was going to come back for the church. And also told us after he come back for the church, he going to come down and put his foot down when you fools get up into this World War III, also known as Armageddon. As I sit and watch the news, I sometimes just sit and laugh, and I be going, ooh, we God. Ooh, we Jesus. Because everything, like you said, is flipping on right now. And the problem is that people aren't seeing it that way. I've got even very close friends that I love dearly, and they, in the madness of what's going on, are trying to live, as I'm noticing a lot of Americans are, they're trying to live a extremely normal life. And they're trying, well, let me rephrase that. They're trying to make the life that we're in and the times that we're in back to what they knew before. Taking vacations, doing things in order to try to normalize the abnormal world we're in right now. Everything is extremely abnormal in so many facets. Financially, what's going on? The baby formula shortage. Who'd have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? But to me, it's just a prelude to the other shortages that are going to come on that level. We talking about for babies, infants, and humans who need a special formula. And I was watching something today. I'm on a blood thinner called warfarin. I was watching a show today, a Christian show, and this man, I don't know if it's true or false, but he was reading stuff talking about there's a heparin shortage. And what heparin is, it's a drug that helps us dissolve clots if we get them. So if you're somebody who's predisposed to clots or in a medical situation, it's supposed to help you. The shortages that are coming are going to be huge. You coming from the trucking industry, me coming from the trucking industry, I've been to the ports. And that backup that they got is bad. But the other thing, the other problem is it's kind of a domino effect. So like even right now, the lockdowns that they have is in China, where they don't lock all the people down in those ports, and we get so many of our goods, well, I'm going to say probably 85, 90% of our goods come from China, from overseas. And they're not producing because the people can't go to work. The boats ain't moving because they can't go to work. And by the time you get stuff transported here, The shelves are empty. We got food that comes from different countries. And right now, even the storms that we've had here in our country, the issue people aren't asking questions about, how is that going to affect the shelves? And how long is it before we start seeing it? We've been seeing the trickle down effect for the past year. But we just saw, and this is what blew my mind, Abbott, they blaming everything on Abbott, which I'm struggling. I'm really struggling that one little factory has this domino effect on the baby food, on the baby formulas. One factory. I got an Abbott here in Casa Grande. The former trucking company I was after hours doing the driver manager stuff for, we used to have trucks pick up there all the time. You mean tell me that one factory in this one little town is the only one that does baby formula, and America public is just eating it up? Like, let me get my soup. Let me eat the foolishness. Stop with the dumb stuff. Just no way in hell. That's like saying there's only one company that makes toilet paper. And we look, and that shortage of the toilet paper that took place around the country because everybody started hoarding it. Y'all remember that? Okay. That we gonna find one factory in Boo Boo City that made that toilet paper, and all toilet paper stopped, and that's why the shelves is empty. I'm just struggling with it. I don't know. I'm struggling with it because I grew up. Hey, Micheline, what's up? How you doing, baby? I'm struggling. I'm struggling with there's only one company. And that Abbott factory closed down, and all baby formula around the U.S. for this specialty formula. Come on, Micheline, you know what I'm saying. That one Abbott factory in the middle of boo-boo America is responsible for all the baby formula not being on the shelf. You need to stop it. You need to stop it. And we went to these other places in the country, in different countries, to get baby formula because of XYZ. But the bigger thing is, I'm a big person on when God shows you something. And there's a foreshadowing to what's happening. Because this also goes to, you should have supply on hand. What we're seeing with baby food or baby formula should be wisdom to people about food in general. Oh, okay. You see, I was like, I don't know who's gonna be up this late. I don't know who's gonna be up, but I was like, I gotta talk because I probably need to go to bed because I have to work tomorrow, and I still have a job. My company did a layoff, so I did not get hit, but my friend who referred me, she did get the packet. Although I think they're gonna have more layoffs, so I'm definitely seeking and looking. I might end up going to school full time. It depends. I'm ready to put in for financial aid, and if depending on what I can get, I might end up doing it. Joe, where's the baby food? Joe, where's the baby food? You funny, but yeah, I hey Wendy, what's up, baby? I sat and I'm looking at the things going on, and in my humble opinion, a stage is being set on a lot of different levels. It's justifying all the money that's being printed. And I'm a big person that knows I don't trust no politicians. I didn't like the last one was in there because I thought it was crazy, but that's God's business. But the new ones that are in there, politicians in general, most of them is corrupt, 99.9%. So I'm not shocked at all this money being printed, how much is going into pockets. I'm sorry, I'm just going to be real. I could be wrong, but I don't trust politicians. I just don't. And we print money and send it over into other countries, and we doing inflation, and now we got new words called stagflation. Ain't never heard of no craziness, but let's make some shizzing it up. Because we got a group of humans who sit in front of video games, and most of them don't have the common sense to spit at. So they sitting there, and they just gradually they just gradually eating up whatever we tell them. I'm gonna tell you a story about the other night in the grocery store. While you playing, getting ready to get to it. So, in our tent city down here, they said it's growing like crazy right now because people can't afford to live. I got a girlfriend of mine. She said that the people in her neighborhood that she knew were friends, they had to move out the houses because the landlords went up so high on the rent. And I'm praying right now. So they just sold the apartments behind me. I think have been sold. I think 2 sections. And so I can tell one they totally redid it, and it looks like I think he's got one tenant, maybe 2 tenants left in this building here, and I think he bought this one too because I just noticed they put new windows in. I know they painted the other one, and I just got this strange feeling. I got this strange feeling that they're being sold. So I'm praying this one's not. The next door neighbor to me, she's moving, and my lady, who's my realtor, who manages the property, she said that the guy who does who did the air conditioning units, he maintenances for him, he's moving in. So that, and he responds to he works for the owner. So I'm praying because he's moving in. I'm like, okay, Lord, that's a good sign because you normally wouldn't be moving a tenant in if you had plans to sell. So she said he didn't have any plans to sell or whatever. We're not on leases after the first year. They just leave you month to month. He doesn't want to re-sign new leases, which I don't like because of the rent could move. But my rent is like $700 a month. I moved in here when it was $665, so they only went up $35, something like that. So they went up a very minimal amount for me. And so, but the apartment's also down from me. Those sold as well. Woo! Woo! The sad part is if you move, it's hard to find anything cheaper than where you're at. So here in Arizona, rents, honestly, $700 is half the cost. Most rent is $1,400 a month. For my apartment right here, and I don't have a washer and dryer in here, they come in and probably just do some, and it had its own inexpensive upgrades. I mean, they put lipstick on the pig. That's all they did. I mean, you can tell they did some minor upgrades. They put some cheapy cabinets in the kitchen. They took some wood and put some tile on it. They didn't really even do like your normal countertops. I think this is a black tile. I think it's black tile they did in the kitchen. My kitchen is really tiny. Oh, I think his place is more than 700 square feet. It's not big. My apartment is not big at all. Actually, that's why I gotta get through stuff because I don't have a lot of room. So I need to get through the rest of my bags. I've been going through the boxes in the living room. But everything is up. And so now your other issue is what people don't understand. The reason also the rents are up. See, America has a short memory. What happened during the early part of the pandemic? Oh, you can't evict people. And so people just stopped paying their rents. And then on top of that, oh, you can't foreclose on people. So the banks held the notes. So now the owners who might not have been getting rents, the bank is calling the note due. And they're not saying, oh, you can tack this on to the back end of the loan and keep just making monthly payments now. No, they saying them payments need to be caught up or we're going to take your property. So then you have the investors coming. It's a big cluster. It's a big cluster of a mess. They're coming in and they'll either buy up the property, kick the other people out, raise the rents for somebody maybe to salvage their credit, or they don't have the money, or they just want to parachute out with money because amount of money they can get for the property is good enough. They don't have to catch up the bills. They may say, okay, here you go. You catch it up. I'm going to take that profit, deuces, and whatever's left over that's left for the loan, they'll take that. I'm out and I got a profit and I'm deuces. I'm comfortable. Now, because people are desperate and greed, really it is greed, the investors are buying the property and they're like, oh, I can rent this out for $1,800 a month because somebody who's in a better financial position than you is willing to pay me that for it. And they don't really care because we don't have any loyalty to America anymore. And oh well for the slow end sapsucker who, I'm sorry, you didn't make the kind of money that Bob Joe made, so I'm going to move Bob Joe in the apartment and you can be homeless and live in your car. They don't care. So it's a crazy predicament, but it's true. So everything is hinging on greed. Micheline, where you at again in the country? Are you in Texas? I don't know why I'm in Texas. Micheline, where you at? I forgot. I know Wendy's in Colorado. I can't remember. Are you in Texas? Somebody's in Texas. Are you in Chicago? I know Chicago BBW's in Chicago. I know that. Let me know where you at, Micheline. But oh, that's Florida. My best friend's in Florida. My best friend's in Florida. And well, she don't like your governor. And my best friend Jane jumps out the plane every time. Don't get her talking about it. She don't like Trump. She don't like the governor. She go on a cussing rampage because ooh, she angry. she angry about Florida. Um, there's no rent control in a lot. I think the only place I know that has rent control is Florida. I mean, is New York, and even there is sketchy. So right now, and that's the other part. You black in Florida, I know you don't like them. Woo! But everything um, going on right now is stage being set. So from a Christian perspective, this is all just stage that's being set for end time events that are going to happen. And as you watch, and I like Sister Girl said, Sean, I don't know if you're a guy or girl, because Sean could be a dude. But Sean, the way you said it is everything is flipping on right now. It's like, and that sums it up. Everything is cray cray. And it's cray cray because if we're distracted looking at this, looking at that, looking at this, and not understanding, stages are being set for what we, from the Christian perspective, basically say are end time events that are going to happen. The stage is being set. And for us, we're expecting the rapture of the church. We're expecting to be, y'all all of a sudden see us missing. Look, we gone. Deuces. And if you stuck here, all I can say, don't take that number. Hopefully you got your relationship right. And if you do, see you on the other side. I'm not trying to be stuck like Chuck, because this madness we in right now, child, this is a cakewalk compared to what's going to be going on after the church is gone. it's a cakewalk. So we now have committees investigating UFOs. We have the upcoming food shortage, which we are seeing in the baby formula section of life. And we've actually been seeing the shortages on the shelves. They've been covering it up by moving stuff to the front and moving stuff down. And, right now, I think we getting baby formula for overseas. Well, my question is how much baby formula was already coming from overseas? And let's really kind of look at this. Is it that baby formula is sitting out in the ocean from overseas? Follow my bouncing ball. Abbott was one of the factories you closed down for whatever their reasons are. But there's only one factory and you're trying to blame it on that one Abbott. I'm just having a problem believing that Abbott produced all the baby formula that's missing on the shelves. I'm just having a problem with that. Yeah, but Micheline, this is the first time in history, before it was folklore about UFOs. Go back to Monday or Tuesday. You can pull up on NBC Nightly News. And these folks ended up talking about they are doing a Senate committee to investigate UFOs because they are seeing a higher percentage of reports of UFOs. And they start showing these blips and stuff. And I'm sitting there like this. Ooh, wee Jesus. So if y'all never saw a movie, and I challenge you to watch it, it's old 2001, Kirk Cameron. The movie was from a book series by, I think they might be both dead. I think they're both dead now. The author was Jerry B. Jenkins and Tim LaHaye. I'm going to read your comment in a minute. And it was called Left Behind. And it was a series of books that tried to give you, it's a fictional account of what happens once the church, meaning Christian believers who are walking in the faith, are raptured out, and how it's handled, how it's explained. One of the excuses in there was aliens, okay? That aliens took them. Well, UFO, aliens are tied together. It's a hand-in-hand thing, right? And for the time we're in with all of the madness going on, that stage has just been set, because it's no longer, in the sense of how they're displaying it, a question, so to speak, that UFOs exist. We just made that by saying there's a Senate committee investigating it. We just called it real. And now, how far are we hinging from saying there's other intelligence in the galaxy other than us? So when the church is gone, maybe the other intelligence took them. It's a way of justifying. Also, all the other events, weather events right now. I like the snow in almost June in Colorado. The level of tornadoes, the level of storms, the intensity of everything that we've had has been cray-cray. The fires that have swept for the past couple of years across the West Coast, all the way up into areas such as Oregon, ain't seen no fires like that before. And we, as a society, and because we are so self-centered about us, we tend to either not forget or not pay attention. So there's a lot going on around us that's distractions. And if you don't have some understanding of the signs of the times that we're in right now, you won't realize that all these pieces are actually a huge puzzle being put together. The best way I can say it's the stage being set for the true show. That's the best way I can put it. So if you ever been to a play, you got the people who paint the set, who put the furniture out, and what they do is set the stage for the true show. This is going to be set here, but right now we're in a pre-dress rehearsal of what it's really going to be. And it's going to be cray-cray on a whole nother level, but we're setting the stage for the whole thing. And that's what's going on right now. The baby formula thing, I really believe God is giving mankind hindsight, because the question is, how much baby formula is sitting on ships, sitting out in the water? I'm just saying. Well, Ukraine is going to have, there's going to be an impact, because I didn't know Ukraine exported as much fertilizer as they do, and also was a major exporter of bread and wheat, things that make bread. We done had fires here on the West Coast. I don't know how much tore up in the Midwest. Florida, where you at, y'all had that freeze or whatever come through, which is probably going to affect oranges and other citrus, because that's one of your major growing crops. But we aren't really talking about it at that level. And it wasn't until the whole Ukraine thing that Biden finally said, well, we're going to have some food shortages. My ninja, yeah, you are. And then some. Why I'm out there at that garden right now. I'm ordering seeds and planting stuff. Usually every few days I go out there and plant something new. I'm getting ready to plant watermelons. Well, I got one I started, and I'm going to plant another one. Hold on, I gotta go back and read. Hey, Jaden, what's up, baby? That's my son. That's one of my sons. Oh, let's see here. Oh, Tanya, I didn't see you in here. What's up, Tanya? I ain't seen you in a minute. Hold on, y'all. Y'all know I told you this thing don't scroll right, so I have to look over here at the pad, because that's the only way I can see the chat. This thing don't hold it, so I get to talking. Who came in while I'm talking? Okay. Yeah, we get a lot of snowbirds, and we got a lot of Californians. Sean, you said it feels like they're trying to induce trauma, anxiety, depression, and confusion. Let's talk on that. Michelle Lee said, "Where's the baby food? Like, where's the bee?" Come on now. I'm going to talk on that too. I'm doing good, baby. How's my son, Mr. Jaden? So, let's talk on a couple things. First thing, Sean, it feels like they're trying to induce trauma, anxiety, depression. So, I'm going to go biblical. The Bible says our fight is not against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities, the spirits behind things. So oftentimes, this is where I'm talking about the distractions. We're seeing physical stuff and we're seeing the distractions there, but spiritually, stages are being set for events that are prophetically supposed to happen. And if we crack the Bible, you will see a lot of things that are taking place being laid out right now. Russia is supposed to be a massive player, like a leading player in the end time events against Israel. Who right now is causing all the madness over in Ukraine? And they're going to align with other countries. And now all these countries are trying to get on this one world global relationship. I want to be part of NATO. Oh, I want to be part of NATO. Oh, I want to be part of NATO. Oh, I need to be part of NATO too. Russia doesn't want Ukraine to join NATO. Why now? Out of the clear freaking blue. Why now? Why now? Why now? Pandemic, COVID. We're possibly looking at another pandemic or whatever with monkeypox. Monkeypox was similar to what's the other disease they had? It came over here, but it didn't go far. Thank you, God. Oh, what's the disease? The eyes bleed. I forgot what the disease is. It came over from Africa, but monkeypox is similar to. It comes from it's from third world countries, and now it's in first world countries. But the other thing that you have to understand is we're coming to everything's being put into a one world system, which is exactly what the Bible says would happen, because a one world leader is supposed to come on the stage. We call him in the Bible the Antichrist, and he's going to come in with a global system of purchasing and selling, and that system is going to require a mark, and they call it the mark of the beast, meaning that it's his created system. Now, how you going to purchase and buy will be government based. All this is being set for a reason. Who's going to get this baby food? Who's going to get it? The people. We're going to talk about monkeypox. Who's going to get this baby food? Our government. And who are we blaming? The government. So now I'm going to rely on the government to fix the problem because I can't fix it in my little world. Hmm. Hmm. I'm just curious. I'm curious. All of it's distraction. And if anything, not only it shouldn't be distraction. If you had biblical foundation, it would be an alarm system. In addition, I don't know how long the church is going to be here, but while we're here, we are to survive. We are to, what is it? What's the word it uses? And I'm trying to occupy, meaning we have to exist here. So if we have to exist here, monkeypox ain't no joke. It's chicken pox on steroids. If you go, they were talking about this several months back. They mentioned something about monkeypox several months back, and now all of a sudden it's sitting in first world countries. And there are a lot of things like, and I believe God is allowing us also some levels in humility, because first world countries, we're very arrogant, we're very self-centered, we're very narcissistic, and we think we got it made and we're better than third world countries. Well, third world countries, Ebola, that was it. Third world country stuff is knocking at our door. And it has entered, put its foot in, and stepped right the hell up in the house. Monkeypox is no joke. It is chickenpox on steroids. It is disgusting, and you can go see pictures of it. You can look it up. It makes chickenpox look. And I remember my two brothers getting chickenpox, and chickenpox is disgusting. But monkeypox, it's like chickenpox on steroid. It looked like warts all over the body. I'm almost wondering if that's what Job had. Because what it looked like, I'm like, first thing I thought of was Job from the Bible. Again, I think everything, it's the same with COVID. I don't think COVID just randomly happened. But I also think that all these things are happening in order to set up different controls and different, like I said, events and stages for this government control. And we're handing over. Here, we need baby formulas. Government, go solve this for us. So we're flying our military planes over to get that. Bring it back, and that's now under government control. Well, who's at fault for the baby food shortage? I'm sorry, I still am having problems with that. I believe that Abbott supplied all the baby food, or excuse me, the baby formula across the world, or across the U.S. That's one bad. That's a cold-blooded lab. I'm sorry, God forgive me. That's a bad lab right there, man. You mean to tell me they doing all the baby formula for the whole of the United States? Dang, Abbott is balling. I'm just saying. It's weird to me. I personally think it's supply chain issues too, but I don't know that our government wants to tell us it's that bad. So if we can place the blame maybe on Abbott, and they might have some issues. I don't know. Did they produce all these different baby formulas? I don't know. It's just weird to me. Because I know that you could pick toilet paper up in different parts of the country. So that's what I'm saying. It would be like, oh, well, all the toilet paper is gone because what's the one of Georgia Pacific or whatever. They that factory down there had some issues, so we shut it down. So all the toilet paper in America stopped. I'm not buying it. They're not the only factory that makes toilet paper. I'm just not buying it. But it's okay. I'm gonna let y'all do you, and you can tell me. And again, this goes back to and if you are my age, a lot of African Americans, we know we don't believe everything the news says. You have to filter through it. And I'm not saying the news is wrong. They may be being fed a bill of goods, because what we know is politicians lie. They don't tell the full truth all the time, if at all. They lie. It just is what they do. Is what they do. And then hold on, let me see here. Jaden, where you at in the country? Because it's hot here. Arizona, we've hit our 100-degree weather. But Sean, what I wanted to tell you, they're not trying to produce trauma. It's all a distraction. And again, don't look at the people. Look at the spirits behind the people. So when I tell you politicians lie, understand I'm talking there's spirits behind this that are orchestrating things. Because ultimately they want us to get to a certain end. Oh yeah, it's going to be warm down in Alabama, but I like your food. Actually, you know what I got? I have to do it. I picked up some Alabama white barbecue sauce. I got it. I've never made it. Actually, I need to learn to make it. Yours is a vinegar-based barbecue sauce, and I have some down under my cabinet. And actually, I'm gonna do. I might got some stuff I'm gonna do. And I normally don't eat pork, but whatever meat's been on sale, with the exception of chicken and any kind of bird, we don't. Unless I own the bird that's been in the refrigerator prior to the avian flu, I'm cool on the birds right now. I'm gonna let the chickens do their thing, and other people, y'all want to go ahead and work on that, y'all go right ahead. Me and the chickens are good. Whatever I got up in the refrigerator that's a bird that was prior to them announcing avian flu, we good. Because right now the avian flu is on steroids for chickens. If y'all don't know about that, there's a lot going on. That's why I told you. I don't know where y'all at in y'all spiritual walk, but you need to talk to Jesus, ask him to open your eyes and see what you can see. Because right now, we're here. On a spiritual level, Christian-wise, there's a whole bunch going on. Oh, okay. Segue to food. So there's different. I'm a barbecue fan. I have a smoke. Y'all saw the smoker outside that I put together. So there are different barbecue sauces around the country. Hands down, my favorite barbecue sauce comes from Texas, and I make a more Texas-style barbecue sauce. Texas, to me, has a slightly sweet, not as sweet as Kansas, but a slightly sweet barbecue sauce, but more so based in pepper and spice. So you usually see a heavier pepper base and vinegar in Texas barbecue sauce. So it's has a sweet, it has savory, it has tomato, and it has vinegar. So Texas to me, it meets my expectation. I love their barbecue sauce styles, and normally not sugary sweet. It's kind of tangy. That's a good way to tangy, spicy with a little sweet. Memphis Memphis, St. Louis. I'm gonna say the same thing because they're both right there. The St. Louis kind of Memphis style barbecue sauces that kind of there's more sweet. Especially or like Kansas City or Missouri, Kansas City, Kansas barbecue sauce, a little more sweet. Memphis kind of the same way too. Memphis kind of may bridge a little bit between the Texas and the Kansas. Um, but then Alabama, they also have a barbecue sauce, and it's a white barbecue sauce. It's a vinegar based barbecue sauce, and it's white based. It's not bad at all. If you like tangy, you like vinegar, it's actually pretty decent. So I actually bought some here in Arizona. I think it's Lily's, at one of the gourmet shops where I found it, and eventually I'm going to experiment with making it. But it's a more vinegar based sauce, and I am a big tangy person. Love vinegar on salads and any kind of tangy dressing type. So I do like it, and it's like I said, it's more of it's sugar and vinegar more so if I remember correctly. But it's called Alabama White. It's a barbecue sauce. You can look it up. Oh, all right. Yeah, I ain't gonna be on here much longer. Um, so yeah, if you ever want to try it, I think it's Lily's. I don't know. I think you can order it through Amazon. We just had it here at AJ's, and I picked up a bottle because it was on sale. But I do like Alabama food. I like Southern cooking and Southern food in general because it's good. Black folks and country folk, and it's just good food. Not good for you, but good to you. Just saying. Um, that's another thing. Micheline brings up something. That's why I was kind of questioning the whole Abbott thing. If you telling me Abbott is the only company making this specialized baby formula that's emptied on all the shelves, my other hand raising question mark is this. My other hand raising question mark is this. Wouldn't that be considered a monopoly? And we broke up the phone bell companies, the government did, because it was a monopoly. And you basically said you have to have good, um, what's the word? You have to have competition in order for you to provide a good service at a good price point. So now if you tell me Abbott is the only factory making this specialty formula, you're telling me that they're a monopoly. And like I said, my problem is Abbott exists in other locations, but they only talk about this one Abbott location that makes the baby formula. Always, y'all even grow it. I'm just saying. I'm saying, and I can't remember if it was Alabama. I know we were in the South when I went down in when I was 13 years old, and the first time I ever had a fresh egg out of a coop. It changed my life. If I could have chickens, I'd have them right now. Not so much to even eat them, just for the eggs, because there's nothing like a cooked fresh egg out of a coop. The yolks, your whole egg is truly yellow. What we get out the grocery store is a game. They lying to you. That's false. The eggs from a farm or from somebody who has chickens and they lay those eggs and cook, child, bye. That's a whole different experience. And the flavor is life changing. It's like a tomato in the garden. It's life changing. No, I'm good. We're good. Life changing. And they're not trying, like I said, they're not trying to do trauma. They don't even realize a lot of times what's going on because a lot of these people are oblivious to the spirits behind them that have them doing half the stuff they're doing. The same as we got a bunch of people who are so dependent. Well, I want the government to do this and do that. And those are the same people that once the church is raptured and this Antichrist comes on the stage and he's the solution to all the things that you need, you can be like, oh yeah, let me line up and get my mark so I can buy food for me and my household. Mm-hmm. And taking that mark sends you straight to hell. I'm just saying. Crack the Bible, y'all. Stage is being set. That's what this. I'm sitting up here laughing. When I saw the UFO thing, I was like, "Are these folks for real? Yeah, they for real. They for real. UFO. Are they for real? They for real. With no chaser. A whole committee. Folklore. Fake. Area 50 was Area 57, 51, whatever it was. Rockwell, New Mexico. All this stuff, all that, yeah, okay. So now we're saying, oh yeah, that's possibly real. We've got not only, now they're talking more about different space things, the Space Force, and that's another thing. People aren't questioning stuff. Why did Trump put together Space Force? And he wasn't the first one looking at it. That was something that needed to be done as soon as he got into office. I believe this was something already in play. And I believe Space Force is put together in order to fight asteroids because they have been discussing in the background how close certain asteroids are going to come to Earth. And that's also another biblical thing. There's an asteroid that's supposed to hit this planet called Wormwood biblically. And you can go read on what that is going to do because it ain't going to be no joke. Anyway, as everybody is winding down, as I am, if you watch the video, please give it a like, thumbs up, share it out. And I would challenge you, if you do not know Jesus, talk to him so you can get some discernment as you watch all the madness that's taking place and understand why it's taking place. And it's really setting the stage for some things to come. If for any reason y'all are still here and prayerfully I'm gone, make sure you don't take that mark. And if you want to know more about it, pick up a Bible. Or there's a fictional story called Left Behind. You can watch the movie. Do the Kirk Cameron version, not the Nicolas Cage version. Kirk Cameron version wasn't great acting, but it was the first movie based on the books. If you want to hear the books, they have the enacted version on YouTube. You can just search it out for free, and you can listen to the whole series, which is excellent. And then there's another book I'm going to recommend called The Wrath. I like book 1 and 2. The only you can either get it by reading it or you can get it through Audible. And all of them deal with end times events and stages are being set. And if you listen to them, I believe, even though they are fictional accounts, they'll give you a good understanding of what we're in right now. And obviously, you can read the Bible. Anyway, y'all, let me get my butt out of here because I also am supposed to go to work tomorrow. Y'all, be blessed, too, and peace.